Okay, so today you will need a blanket, and I think that's all you'll need today. So we're just gonna roll it up. So just take your blanket and just roll it up like this. If you don't have a blanket, you could use another yoga mat. You could use a pillow. This could even like a skinny sort of pillow. It's just going to give you a little back bend. That's all we're trying to do here. So we're just making this little roll and we're going to put it across the shoulder blades. So not toward the middle back, not low back, right up where the shoulder blades are. And then the arms just barely go over the top and let the arms be wide. And then your head comes back down. And what you're going to try to do is, even though the chin is going to kind of want to lift, we're going to tuck the chin, but keep the back of the head on the floor. So you're just trying to kind of open the back of the neck. If you can't bring the chin down at all, just put something under your head. That's totally fine. And we're just going to open the chest a little bit. Take a few breaths here. You could even take your hands to your rib cage and direct the breath into the ribs. So just think about the breath going into the ribs and stretching from the inside. And just try to relax the shoulders. And then let's just roll onto your left side. So we're going to have the bolster be right underneath the ribs still. Just rolling onto the left and bring your arm up and over. So the hand will be behind your head. Just a little stretch here. Maybe walk the hand out, but walk the hand behind your head. So not in line, a little behind. Good. Let's roll back onto your back. Let's do the other side. So we're just going to roll back right onto that. Stay the blanket underneath your chest. Arm goes up and over your head. Walk it a little behind your ear. Stretching into that shoulder. Good. And then bring that hand around front and let's come up to seated. We're going to come onto the hands and knees. So if you want to use your blanket to kneel on it, you can. If you have a blanket, or unroll your mat, have a second mat. We're just going to come onto the hands and knees, belly in. So we're just pulling that belly in toward the spine. And let's just warm up the spine just by doing a few cat-cow. So we're just going to round the spine and arch. Round and arch. Good. A couple more. Very nice. And then finding a neutral spine. Let's just come forward into chaturanga. So we're just going to hug the elbows together. So you're hugging the elbows so that they're coming together and the line of your elbow is facing forward. We're just hugging them in and then coming forward all the way down. Good. Hug the elbows toward one another like you're trying to touch them behind your back. Bring your forehead down, point your toes back, and let's press up into a back bend. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Good. Coming back down. Nice. Let's press back into child's pose. We're going to work on strengthening and stretching the arms and the chest and the upper back today. In a gentle way. Good. Floating up to table. Now this time, instead of going down all the way down, we're going to go down halfway. So we're going to pull that belly in. Good. And then coming forward, chaturanga, and then press it up. Good. Now let's do that 2 more times. Coming down, press it up. Good. 1 more. Coming down, press it up. Child's pose. Just building the strength slow. Good. Inhale, float up to table. Nice. So let's center the right knee. Kick the left leg back. Pull the belly in and reach your right arm forward. Hold. Lift the arm. Lift the leg. Good. Let's lower the hand down. Keep that leg lifted. Stack the hips and reach your left hand up. Good. So while we're reaching up here, let's just do a nice big arm circle. Good. Do another. Switch directions. Lift your leg a little higher. Good. And then find center. Reach. Good. Reach, reach, reach. And then let's lower that knee down. Sweep that arm through. Set your left shoulder on the floor. Good. And then you can use your right hand to help you twist a little bit. Good. Breathe. Now it can be fun to just stay here. Maybe take your right leg and just lift that knee. Keep the toes on the floor. Good. Maybe lift the leg up. Maybe, we'll see if I can do it. Reach that arm back. And if you roll, that's just extra credit. If you do a little roll back, that's fine. Good, because I do it most of the time. Bring the hand down, bring the knee down. Good, let's come up. Child's pose. Good job. Now, if I do that on both sides, I'm going to be, there's going to be a party at my house. Oh, that's funny. So if you fall back, that's okay. That's supposed to happen. It's your body's finding balance, which is great. Good. Inhale, coming up. Center the right knee. Left leg lifts, I hope. Or is it the other way? It's the right leg back. Left arm forward. Good. Belly in. Hold. Lift the arm, lift the leg. Good. Breathe. Good. Let's lower the hand down. Stack the hips. Lift your right hand. Coming up. Breathe. Building strength in that arm just a little bit. We're just working on it a little bit. Good. Breathe. Now we're going to set the knee down. Sweep the arm through. Good. And then just stay here. Maybe just stay here. Maybe straighten into the left leg this time. Maybe lift the leg. Maybe take that hand around and bring it around. Whoa. Whoa. So you can see it's hard. I won't pretend it's not hard. Falling is fun. It's fun. It's part of the process in yoga. Part of the process. Good. Now we're going to lower that knee down. Coming up. Child's pose. So no party at my house. Sorry. Good. Floating up to table. Hugging the elbows in. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Let's come up to table. We're going to do a few exercises for your wrists. So the first one is going to be sort of a wrist push-up. So we're going to just lift the wrists up off of the mat. So the more weight you have on your upper body, the harder this is going to be. So let's start just by leaning back and just lift the wrists and then lower them down. Lift, lower. And then we'll bring us a little more weight forward. Now lift the wrists, set them down. Good. We're going to do 3 more. Lift, lower. Good. Lift, lower. Good. 1 more. Lift and lower down. Good. Let's shake that out a little bit. Good. Now we're going to just take the back of your hands. The fingers are going to point toward one another. We're going to have the weight back. And then you can do this. You can bring the elbows down and come back up. If that's easy, just come a little more forward, down, back up. Good. Let's do 2 more. Down, back up. Good. 1 more. Down, back up. Good. Let's come back up. Shake that out. We're going to do another, just a nice wrist stretch. Okay, so we're going to take your right palm and turn it towards you. So the closer your hand is to you, you'll see my arm can go forward of my wrist. That is fine. If that's a big stretch in your wrist, then you stay here. If you can do a little more, we do a little more. And if you want a little double duty, curl the toes under, get a stretch into your feet. It's optional. Maybe take your hand to your other hand, your left hand on top of your right, and just do the stretch wherever it feels right. So if it's too much, come forward a little bit. If you want a little more, come back. Breathe. Good. Coming forward. Shake it out. Nice. Take that left hand, turn it towards you. So I like to go out and back. And then again, I'll just turn around so you can see. We want to have that hand towards you so that you get a little bend in the wrist. You lean back, you get a little more. Curl the toes under for a little stretch into the feet if you want. And I'm a lefty, so this one's a little tighter. I can feel it in my thumb. But that's okay because we do it. Breathe. You don't want to overdo the stretch. The muscles are not big, so we're doing a gentle stretch. So you don't push too hard, 80%. Listen to your wrist, listen to your body. Always listen to your body. Good. Coming forward. Release, shake it out. Shake it out. Let's just do some wrist rolls, one direction and then the other. Good. Bring your hands in front. Lift your fingers towards you. Drop them down and try to touch the underneath of your arm. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Lift. And lower. Good. Now let's do 3 more chaturangas just for good measure. Hug those elbows in, knees stay on the floor. Coming forward, we're staying with your knees on the floor just so we get that form right. Hugging the elbows in. Chaturanga 1, 2, 3. Come all the way down with control. Point the toes back. Forehead to the mat. Hug the elbows in. Let's find a back bend. Lift. Good. Coming down. Now I'm going to give you a couple of options here. We're going to take those hands, either palm face up on your low back, or interlace your fingers, press your knuckles down towards your toes. Good. We're going to inhale, lift, find a locust pose, lift the legs, lift the arms. Good. If your palms are facing up, you just lift those elbows, opening in the chest. Good. Lower down. Let's look to the left. Relax the shoulders to the floor. And look to the right. Good. Bring forehead to the mat. Hands come underneath the shoulders. We're going to press up and back into down dog. Holding here. Good. So right here, just one more little strengthener with the arms. We're going to bend the elbows almost to the floor and then come back up. And bend the knees too. Bend the elbows almost to the floor. Come back up. Let's do it one more time. Bend and lift. And then walk the hands back. Forward fold. Resting the arms. Still sliding those shoulder blades up toward your hips. Maybe grab your elbows. Really let everything hang. Good. Release. Walk the hands forward again. Good. We'll walk it into plank just for a moment. Good. So we're going to find the space in between the shoulder blades. So you could have your knees down or up for this. We're holding here, and then we're going to press the space between the shoulder blades up toward the ceiling, and then let it come back down. Between the shoulder blades, lift, lower, 2 more, lift, lower, 1 more, lift, lower. Knees down, child's pose. Good, sitting up onto the heels. We're going to swing these legs around. Take your blanket again. If you did unroll it, re-roll it. We're going to set that aside. Okay. We come back to the middle of your mat. Bring your hands behind you. So your hands could point toward your feet, or they could point out to the sides. So we're just going to get one more strengthen in here. We're going to, if you really feel strong, you could go straight legs. We can bend the knees, and then we're going to lift the hips up. Good. Hold. Nice. Lower down. Nice. Let's do 2 more. Lift and lower. Lift, lower. Good. 1 more. 1 more lift. 1 more lower. Good. Cross into those legs. Shake those arms out. Good. Let's bring those arms together. Good. So we're bringing the hands together. Point them toward the front of your mat. Pull the shoulder blades back. Let's lift the arms up. Good. A little behind the ears. Nice. Back down. Good. Up. Good. Now release out. Really reaching back like you're trying to touch your hands behind you. Good. Back, round the spine. And back up. Nice. Release. Bending into the elbows. Let's bring them together. Press the elbows together, the wrists and the hands. Let them rest down on the chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down. Good. Really press those elbows together, wrists together, hands together. Lift. Lower down. Good. 1 more. Press the elbows, press the wrists, press the hands. Lift. And lower down. Good. And release. Let's take this roll here behind you. We're going to put it behind you. So this is like your final pose. We'll do a little bit of movement on here, but we're just going to lay it across down the spine. If you need a blanket or a pillow at the top, go for it. And you just want to make sure the head is supported. So you can push this blanket back a little so that your head is not hanging off the edge of your blanket. And it should be right between those shoulder blades. Good. And then we're going to just bring the arms out, palms down, and then lower the knees, just staggered over to the right. And then over to the left, little stretch into the hip. Let's do it 1 more time on each side. Stretching, pressing those knees down, rolling that hip up. Good. 1 more. Nice. Back to center. Heel toe the feet either together or hip width apart. You could go for straight legs, and that's totally perfect. Or you could bring the bottoms of your feet together for a little extra inner thigh stretch. And then roll those palms up so you can open those shoulders. So the blanket really makes this possible. And then just close the eyes. Feel the breath. Should take a few more breaths right here. If your knees are straight, just bend into the knees. If your knees are apart, you're just going to bring the knees gently and slowly together. We're going to roll onto one side of our body and rest. Pressing up to a seated position. Taking a few breaths right here. Really softening into the shoulders. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, guys.